yet, but soon. Not yet, but soon. Not yet, but soon. Now here we go. Now we is live. Right now.
On the live. She wants to be in the place to be. Yeah, we're back, and it's all three. You need to like, you need to share, you need to follow. No swallow, just follow and do what you do, cause we about to come to you. It's the She Wants to Be crew. I hope you're ready for us to bring some Cowboys news to you. Got a new coach, so what it do? Time to celebrate and regulate. No Garrett, it's a miracle. Jerry finally said goodbye to him, and now we get a new coach again. And hey, I hope he likes Dak Prescott, because if he don't, you better fire him, because that's our quarterback. Sorry, I got a little ahead of myself there.
No, that's all right.
I'm just really worried about the turnover, you know. Okay.
It's gonna be a lot.
Let's get to some shout outs. I mean, we got a lot to talk about today. I hope you guys are ready. We are so excited to be here with you, the JoJo's Replay She Wants to D crew, all in the, oh my gosh, it's not letting me get to the comments. What's happening? Are we not live?
We are live.
We're live. They're just,
sorry, there we go.
They're just now coming up.
I see what's up. Top fan Karen's in the building. Valerie, top fan Sharon, Gabriel, Kevin, and more people coming through. Hey, Sharon, what it do? Top fan Teresa, I see you. Like, share, follow, you know the drill. We about to give y'all Cowboy spill. Justin, how you doing, baby? Hope you're ready to go crazy. Hey, Kelvin, I see ya. Hey, I like you, I see ya. Somebody said goodbye, Clapper. Joe for Italy says what's up. Top fan Antoinette, how you doing? We about to talk some Cowboys news, and I see Sharon. I don't know if I said your name yet. In case I did, there you go. It's a shout out for you. Hello. Top fan Christy, I see you. Like, share, follow. You know what to do. We about to talk about some Cowboys news. Tell them just what we bringing them to.
Hey, it is episode 22 of the She Wants the D podcast. I bet you thought we were gone, but we's not.
We ain't gone.
We her.
We her.
We gonna be her.
Hey, we had to take a week off, just like Jason Garrett had to get a week to be fired.
That's right. And we're a little late this evening. Our JoJo Herm got stuck in traffic.
Oh my God! Don't bring it up.
Traffic
please.
is atrocious today. Sorry.
Now that she works in Fort Worth.
Sorry if y'all are still in it.
Man, them checks is fat, but I'm telling you, like, having to come to Dallas all the way from Fort Worth, it was not one of my favorite things.
I'm sorry.
I was itching to do a show, man. Like, we couldn't have put it off another day. I have been so excited to sit here with you guys and talk about the official new era of the Dallas Cowboys.
It is officially official. As of today, we got the press conference around 3 o'clock this afternoon. And
I missed it.
We are going to start the show off by playing my favorite moment, Tracy's favorite moment.
Oh, absolutely.
I can't wait
of
to
the
see.
press conference. Here we go.
Well, wait.
Oh,
Let me back up.
oh.
Because Jessica called this. And
Okay.
she said the other day, she was like, I'll be happy if we get Mike McCarthy and he's wearing a T-shirt that says Des caught it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, hell yeah, absolutely.
That's the only
That
way.
was your stipulation
Yeah,
for
I'll-
accepting,
I will accept him as a coach if on his first day walking into the Star,
exactly. Yeah.
That's
he has a
awesome.
shirt
I
that
can't
says-
wait to see
So
what this
today,
man
Des
is.
caught it.
So
today at the press conference, here we go. This transpired.
You were at that divisional playoff game. Did Dez catch it?
Hey, I'll say this.
Tough question.
No, I'm going to tell you exactly what happened. Because I had one time out, and I think we had a little over 4 minutes left in the game, and I said it after the game. That was one hell of an athletic play.
That's a good non-answer. Good non-answer.
yeah,
there.
exactly.
Oh no, our intro video is not working.
Oh, sorry to all the stars.
crap.
You're
What
gonna have
Why
to-
is it not working?
Gonna have to unload it and load it again. That's
Yeah,
what she said.
But unfortunately,
That is what she said, Tracy.
oh no, it's not working. Oh well.
Well, y'all
that's
seen
fine.
it before, damn it.
Yeah, y'all know what it do. So we
You
will
know
just
what it do.
we'll just
Yeah.
skip right on over that, and we will get it fixed for next time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved that moment. I
Yeah.
actually did not get to watch the press conference in real time. I was at work, but then as soon as Tracy got here, she was like, "Oh my God, he said the thing.
He said it.
They asked
Yeah,
the
you
thing.
gotta
asked
send
it.
me
He said
that
the
link
thing."
Yeah.
because I gotta watch that in full. I
It
gotta.
was great.
Somebody just said they can't hear anything.
Oh no.
Let somebody else send us a message. Keep sending us text. Let us know if you can't hear us.
Are we fully not?
I don't know what's going on, Jess. Producer.
We have sound.
Okay, then maybe
Yeah.
Gwendolyn, turn your sound up on your cell phone. There's usually a side
Oh.
button, and you make the volume
Oh,
go
it's
up.
Gwendolyn.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
Gwendolyn.
Hey, Gwendolyn.
The
How about
Eagles
the-
fan.
how about those Eagles?
How
Eagles?
about them Eagles?
How about them
Gwendolyn?
Eagles? How you feeling today, Gwendolyn?
Hey, I am not an Eagles fan, but I will have to say this. They made it with half of their roster to the playoffs.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
We made it. We didn't
And they
make
kicked
it
our ass with half of their roster.
with
So.
Zato, but I still hate your Eagles.
Oh yeah.
That's the only good thing I will ever say about the Eagles, Gwendolyn.
True hatred, for
can't
sure.
stand it.
No,
Without
I'm
a
not
doubt.
spending another minute talking about them.
Yeah, let's
No,
move on quickly.
I want to talk about how sweet it was to watch them lose.
And the Patriots.
And the
Oh
Patriots.
my gosh!
Ding dong. The wicked
That
witch
was so
is
sweet.
dead.
That was so
We
sweet.
will not have to endure another Patriots Super Bowl.
Shout out to
did
the
y'all-
wild card
Did you guys
weekend.
see Brady stomp off that field
Oh
and
my
into the
gosh,
locker room?
like a brat.
Mad.
little
He's more of a brat
mad.
than those children of
Oh,
his.
He was
I tell
mad.
you.
sure,
Yeah.
like a
Gosh.
little biatch.
Gosh, just a little straight up broad. You feel me?
I
Talk about
suck.
broad shoulders. No, you're just a straight up broad.
No, he was
bro.
like this.
You know,
That was great. It was
I'm gonna
awesome.
Tell Giselle on you.
Eagles lost. Patriots lost.
Man,
it
I
was
mean,
fantastic.
It doesn't matter what the Tennessee Titans do in the rest of this playoffs. They should get the freaking Super Bowl.
For sure. That was
Just
my
for
Super
what
Bowl.
they did to the Patriots, they should get the freaking
Yeah.
Super Bowl, especially since my Cowboys can't get it.
That was my Super Bowl
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Gosh, it was great. It was amazing.
All right, guys, let's get into the matter at hand, which is our new coach.
Yes. We got a new coach and a freaking joke. Listen, Garrett's gone, so sing along. We don't deal with Garrett no more. And hey.
No more clapper.
You like that?
We probably won't be seeing much more of that at all from this new coach.
No.
Every time I've
God.
seen a clip of him, he is fired up
Good.
on that sideline.
You're right about that.
Thank
You're right
God.
about that.
That's what we need, for sure.
I'm just hoping that we're not jumping out of the fire into the frying pan here. What do y'all think?
Well, there's been a lot of talk of that, and I mean,
I
it's
have
true.
so many opinions.
Mike McCarthy is an old school guy,
He
so we might see the same kind of old school offense. I'm kind of on the fence about that, but as the person that has stated all season long, anybody is better than Garrett.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's kind of like a 5-year-old would be
I-
better than Garrett.
At this point,
I have to stick by.
fans would take anything.
I
Yeah.
have to stick by what I've said all year long, and I still say it, and I'm still happy. I just didn't want Jason Garrett, and I got my wish,
You
so
got your
I'm
wish,
happy.
Jess.
I did not expect this
2020.
at all.
Lots of changes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Praise
Yeah.
be.
I did not expect this at all. I'm kind of on the fence about Mike McCarthy. I don't think he's either a good nor bad choice. He's just a choice.
I'm the same way. I'm kind of like, you know what? I'll see it when I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah, and I think that all Cowboys fans are kind of like that at this point. We're just so worn out.
We've been
Yeah, and it's time.
Yeah.
It's time for a change. I
Yeah.
mean, if you look at the run, I mentioned this on the Daily Sports Rant video when the news first broke that Monday. If you look at the run of a coach like an Andy Reid in Philadelphia, and you could see at the end that ship had run its,
Yeah.
that whatever the damn
You can
saying
obviously
is,
tell when
it
it's
was
run
time
its
for
course.
a change.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So and he goes the following year to Kansas City and does great things. So one thing I want to start out with, I want to kind of break this down into categories when it comes to Mike McCarthy.
The three keys?
The 3 keys, baby. First, I want to talk about offensively because he is an offensive coach.
He is.
Then I want to talk about what the potential culture change means with him coming in for the Dallas Cowboys. And then thirdly, I want to talk about what this means for our roster because we have over 20 impending free agents on
I've got
roster.
those actually pulled up.
Oh, that's
for,
why you
for when
are
you
the
get
bomb.
Yeah.
Damn, I love
there.
this woman.
That's a big issue. That's a
She's
big
like the
issue.
yin to my yang. She does all the things that I don't like to do, but it's like she enjoys doing them almost.
No,
Gosh,
do that.
you're good.
Before you get to your 3 keys, you said something during the intro when you're doing your raps that I want to just touch on really quick, and that is Dak Prescott and how he will, how this new head coach will handle Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
Will they sign him? Will we still have Dak? I think that Mike McCarthy is actually excited.
He's
to
very,
have Dak.
very excited.
He's excited to have a young QB that he can help develop, that he can kind of get inside his head.
I agree.
He's
I
studied
agree.
him for a while, and he said something in this press conference. Sorry to cut you off, but he said something in this press conference that caught my eye. That he said, it's something to watch him on TV, but when he got down here and saw him play in real life on the practice field, he was like, "Holy crap!"
And the way he
He couldn't wait to work with him. Yeah, couldn't
He's
wait.
excited.
And the
Can't
way
wait.
those players just adore and love to follow it and be led by him.
Which is cool.
But you know what? I have no doubt in my mind that this affects Dak Prescott in no way whatsoever. One, what would you want more than a quarterback that you can coach up and kind of develop into whatever this new type of offense that you plan on bringing to the Dallas Cowboys? Two, I think that was one of the things that had already been discussed. Because when you think about how fast this decision came down, it's very obvious.
Oh, yeah.
It's very obvious that this was in the works well before we knew. It's probably one of the reasons they took their time firing Jason Garrett until they got confirmation that Mike McCarthy did decide to be the head coach.
Actually,
I really feel that.
They got an okay from Garrett as well.
Wait,
about
what?
Mike.
Which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
What?
Jerry Jones talked to Garrett and said, well, actually, we're looking. He told Garrett, he said, we're actually looking at Mike McCarthy. And he said, I think that's awesome. I think he's a great guy, and he spoke really highly of him.
Why would you care?
Yeah.
He spoke really highly of him. I know.
Garrett thinks of Mike McCarthy, the guy that was 0-4 against him when he faced him as a head coach.
Probably because Jason wasn't speaking as a head coach anymore. He was speaking as a friend, kind
but
of.
still,
like,
I mean,
he's been involved.
Me.
He and his family have been involved with the Jones family for over 30 years. So he was probably like putting his job aside and going, "Oh, well, I think that's a really great move."
I've been involved
But
with
I was
my
like,
own family
seriously,
for over 30
dude,
years, and I can't stand
You're
it.
asking the guy that you're getting rid of if this is the right guy. That's why it made me wary and wonder if we
that's
were jumping from the
ridiculous.
fire into the frying pan.
Yeah.
I was like,
Well,
oh.
there's a couple of things that may make you want to believe that. I mean, the fact that he stayed the night at Jerry Jones's house, it makes me feel like Jerry Jones has already asserted his dominance and his power over
The slumber
him.
party.
But let me say this. Mike McCarthy, say what you want about him having Aaron Rodgers. We're going back to the quarterback. Aaron Rodgers was a guy that had sat on the bench for 3 years. Aaron Rodgers was a guy who started his career with this coach. And Aaron Rodgers developed into what he is today with this coach.
Yeah, and
under this coach's offense.
I really
mean,
respect Aaron Rodgers, honestly.
I know Aaron Rodgers is one of the best that will ever do it. And there's little to none that you can compare when it comes to him. But he was running his offense.
yeah, and here's something since we're talking talking about Aaron Rodgers, wasn't there beef between these two towards the end?
Really, really
and,
bad.
And
which
Aaron
was one
Rodgers,
of my concerns.
was like not even running his plays.
He was basically
like actively,
ignoring every play. And in
he
Aaron
went rogue
Rodgers'
on him.
defense, exactly. And in Aaron Rodgers' defense, those last couple of years he was in Green Bay, the offense had become somewhat stagnant, where Aaron Rodgers was improvising a lot, and I think it had more so to do with Aaron Rodgers becoming a veteran quarterback. And you guys, if you know Aaron Rodgers, he's very diva-esque. He's very confident in his abilities. He's very sure of himself and what he can do on the football field. And I think that maybe he was wanting Mike to be a little bit more creative in their play call and the scheme of the offense, and that's where they butted heads. And I think pride got into the way where Mike McCarthy was like, no, this offense has been successful for us for 13 seasons.
Yeah.
We've gotten to the playoffs 9 out of 13 seasons running my offense, and Aaron Rodgers looking around the league playing against all these up-and-coming young quarterbacks and saying, like, no, like, we need to evolve. We need to be better.
Right.
We need to.
And isn't that a very Jason Garrett-esque
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the
mindset?
point I made.
Yeah, that's kind of scary.
And then I counterpointed. Okay?
Okay.
Maybe a year away from the game forced Mike McCarthy to look at some of those factors within himself as a head coach.
Actually, he said that in this press conference.
And in
he
his
went
offense.
back and looked at all of his mistakes in order to correct them all. Like he looked back at tape and he was like, what did I do wrong here? What did I do wrong there?
I love it. I got to watch this press conference.
Yeah,
in full. I
it's
missed
an
it today
hour
at work.
long. It's kind of a beating, and
I'm gonna
also
share it to my
you've
page
got to
so I
get
can
past
watch it.
Stephen Jones.
It's a lot of Stephen Jones.
It's a lot of
heavy breathing.
Heavy breathing in the mic, a lot of
Vocal fry.
yeah.
You know, and initially I was so frustrated with this move initially. I hated how fast it came down. I hated the fact that they took 7 days to fire someone.
You hate that they blindsided
in less
you.
than
That's
24
what you
hours
hate.
to hire someone. Like, what the hell?
Secrets.
You cared more about Jason Garrett's feeling than you did the process
That's
of
a
our head
secret.
coach?
That's why he's been here for 10 years.
Yeah.
His feelings have been the reason that's kept him
But
here that
listen,
long.
Yes,
Yep.
think about back in 2007 when Bill Parcells retired. We interviewed not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, but 10 candidates before we finally settled on Wade Phillips. 10.
That's why I think that
And we interviewed 2 guys, him and Marvin Lewis because of the freaking Rooney Rule. You have to interview at least one black guy.
But don't you think? But don't you think that because of all that they just kept all of this really hush hush?
Oh, I know they did.
Because of
you
all
can't tell
the
me
I think
that
they
this
actually
wasn't in the
started
works.
other rumors on top of it to divert people.
Yeah.
In
Well,
other
I did not see this coming.
Because you got to think.
Same. I don't think anybody did.
Because you got to think. There was so much heat on Jason Garrett's head. This entire city wanted Jason Garrett's head on a platter.
Oh yeah, we wanted him gone.
I personally wanted his head on a platter. So don't you think just because of how much Jerry loves Jason Garrett for whatever freaking reason, I'm sure he's a really nice guy.
And I mean, think about it.
They're like
how
fam.
long have y'all known each other?
Yeah.
like family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I know.
Yeah.
So if one of you were in a position of power and one of y'all were completely horrible all of a sudden at your job, it would be super freaking hard.
Oh
Right.
yeah, even if I had to
let you
fire
go.
you, I'd still be friends.
But
This guy was
I
third
even
string quarterback. You know, I mean,
yeah,
like,
it's
he's
just
been
like you
developed,
said,
man.
it's timing. It's good timing.
I think
and
it
that's what
has-
they say here too.
I think it has less to do with the fact that they're super good they are super good friends, and that's great. I think it has more to do with the fact of how much Jason Garrett hate there is, and they just wanted to maybe let it cool down a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe they wanted to let it
so
cool
you think
off.
he's coming back in 5 years?
Oh hell
No,
no!
I don't think Jason
You
Garrett
think
will
this
be
is
back.
just a separation, not
I
a
actually
divorce?
think that he's going to go into. He'll probably stay with the Cowboys in some form or fashion.
He's got a couple of interviews already. I think
Really?
the Giants are
Go to the
interviewing
Giants.
for his for offensive coordinator.
Bye-bye.
They've already asked permission because
Quick side
technically they
note.
still need it from the Cowboys.
Quick side note: what is going to happen with Chris Richard? Because he's no longer the defensive coordinator.
Somebody's
Somebody's
gonna
looking at
pick
him
him
for
up.
head coach.
No,
Actually,
the
he
Giants
interviewed for the
were-
Giants and he
Look,
didn't get it.
Listen, and this irritates and frustrates me, and we're going to talk about this on the next JoJo's Replay episode in nausea and detail. I do not take it serious when someone brings in a black head coach for an interview. until that black head coach is hired.
Because of the Rooney Rule?
It's the Rooney Rule. Every team is required to at least interview one black head coach. But there are fantastic black head coaches. How many? I guarantee you
Yeah.
can count them on one
Yeah,
hand.
okay.
Well,
Yeah.
And in an NFL that has 32 teams, in an NFL that has the highest turnover rate when it comes to head coaches, I can count on one hand how many active head coaches there are that are black. I can count on two hands how many there's been in NFL history. In the history of the NFL, we're at 100 years this season. So it's a huge issue, and if it wasn't for the Rooney Rule, they wouldn't even be bringing these guys in. Brian Flores, head coach for the Miami Dolphins, he went into that interview and he wowed them. That's why he got that job, because of his passion, because of his vision for the Miami Dolphins and their future. But they wouldn't even get a chance to get in the door, man, if it wasn't for this Rooney Rule. And kudos to the Steelers for being the ones to help create it and put it into motion. But Chris Richard's not going to get a head coaching job this season, especially after what he did with this defense this year.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Don't
Nobody
you
did
think it
from a
has
head
more to
coaching
do
job.
with that than,
I think
than
it has.
anything?
Yeah.
No, I think it has to do with we're in a very white-dominated league when it comes to positions of power in the NFL. And again, this is a whole nother story for a whole nother day. I don't want to sap
I think I might know why.
new
Well,
hire with
I might
it,
know one reason why.
What's that?
How do I say this without? So football in our nation is extremely popular here in the South, especially in Texas.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Texas
it's not a
is-
sport, it's a
and
religion.
it comes from high school. It starts in
Yeah,
high school.
Yeah.
And those are outer county schools like what was that Friday Night Lights? What was the name
David
of the
W.
Friday Night Lights?
Was it Carter High School?
Not Carter, but Carter's very good. Carter's very hard to get past.
Yeah. My mom went out to Carter High School.
Along with, it starts there, and I think.
So you think because it started in the South, that's why it's predominantly a white
I
sport?
think that because it's popular here more in the South than it is in any other nation. And the predominantly people that coach it are white, especially here
Well, yeah,
also.
That's kind of going along with
The
what she said.
players, because like Carter, and the players on the team, like at my son's high school, the exceptional players were not.
Odessa, Texas.
Yeah, of
Thank
course.
you, Top Fan
And that-
Lisa. It was Odessa, Texas that Friday
Odessa.
Night's Lights was based off.
That's where my
Permian,
grandma
Permian,
lives.
Permian.
Yeah, Mojo.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's where I got the term
Permian.
mojo from.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
I think maybe they, in that movie, it really showed the dominant color in that movie.
Oh, yeah,
for sure.
yeah. You're definitely
And most
right.
of them do, actually, but I just feel like it's the region that's part of that reason that is like it's for me, to me, this guy, and I'm going to go into why. This guy reminds me of a high school football coach. Totally.
The passion.
The passion, the family
arrogance.
oriented.
Yeah,
He
loves his
seems
family.
Texan to me, but he's not. He's obviously got that accent. He's just, and I'm not trying to like profile here, but
Yeah.
there's something that reminds me of my dad here. And the
Yeah.
last coach that we had that reminded me of my dad was Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah.
And
Remember
I'm
that
not,
picture she showed us?
yeah,
That
I'm
was
not. I'm
crazy.
not
That was
saying that
freaky.
there's something. It's the fire. It's the passion for the game. Period. I don't know what he is gonna. I'm not saying he's like Jimmy Johnson at all. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah,
one could
of
only
course.
hope.
I'm saying that those people that remind me of my dad put fear in me.
Yeah. So hopefully he put fear in this entire
So hopefully he
offense,
puts
team.
fear in
Is
this
it-
entire team.
Is it just me or does he have a wonky eye?
Yes, he does.
Oh, yeah. That
I
looked
thought of
wonky
you
as hell.
earlier.
I've been looking at the screen the
I
whole
thought of
time.
you. I
like,
thought of you earlier when you said that. But yeah,
It's a little
JoJo, on
wonky.
that other point, I think that maybe that might have partly to do with it.
And
I
you
don't.
may
I don't.
be right.
I
You
don't
may be
know.
right.
I don't know. But
And I must make one comment, and then we'll move on to culture
because
as far as Mike McCarthy.
the Steelers coach, I always wanted to say Omar Epps. I actually really like that guy. He's amazing.
He's great.
Oh
He's
yeah,
great.
he's the
Fantastic.
best. He's one of the
He's
best.
a great coach.
And see, that's my point. And yeah,
Few and
this
far between.
football may be most popular in the South, and that those all may be factual, and that may have something that stems from it. But just like a lot of things were popular in the South,
Yeah.
slavery was
Yeah.
more popular
It's the
in the
same.
South.
It's
But you would think with time,
yeah.
and when you implement things like the Rooney Rule, it kind of forces change to come upon you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just like all the things that we've went through in this country that has been wrong and people have fought for, it's not right to think that a white man could manage an NFL roster or organization better than a black man. I mean, that makes absolutely no
I
sense to
totally
me.
get that. And
Especially because I grew up from the time my son was 5 years old, most of his coaches were black.
yeah.
Because of the area that we lived in, most of his coaches were black or Hispanic. And he still takes the lessons and the values that he got from those coaches with him to this day.
For sure.
So you can't tell me that there's something about a white man that makes him better equipped just because it was dominated in the southern region.
I would
football.
never. I would.
A lot of noise going on over here.
I would know. I know this
I just
cord
think
is. I gotta hold it.
It's time for a
'cause it's
change.
pulling
That's
my
all
mic.
I'm saying. Like, there's no way it should only you should be able to count on one hand how many black head coaches are in the NFL. It's just no way.
Well, then for me, I'm so far removed from. I mean, because I claim no race.
Yeah.
I am multiracial.
Yeah.
So
She's a mutt.
I don't really like when I had that thought had never occurred to me until you said it, because I just don't see things that way.
Yeah.
But now that I'm thinking about it, there really only have been a few.
Yeah.
There's Omar Epps.
Yeah.
AKA Mike Tomlin.
Mike Tomlin.
You got your Tony Dungy.
Yeah.
I mean,
He
can
was
you
a
remember
fantastic
anybody
coach.
as just a avid football follower outside of the Dallas Cowboys?
No.
Exactly. I mean, I can name a few, but again, that's not what we're here for.
No, it's not. It's not.
I'm just saying it's something within this professional football league this professional league that needs to be changed. That's
I
all
think
I'm
it
saying.
probably is something that's coming. That's more like that's gonna change over long periods of time.
Hey, it only took them 95 years to get female refs. So
yeah,
maybe
exactly.
another 90
Exactly.
will
Exactly.
be a little
You
bit more
just nailed
even.
it. So it's going to be one of those things.
Yeah.
It's like a long time.
Women
coming.
are just as oppressed.
Yeah.
By the
praise
way.
be.
By
Yeah,
the
let's
way.
get back to some Cowboys, damn
Let's
it.
do
Yeah.
it. Yeah, I'm actually going to take this off the screen because
Okay.
his wonky eye
Yeah,
is
his
really
face is
bothering
bothering
me.
Is it getting you? Is it
Bothering
really
me.
getting to you?
But yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm not quite sure how I feel about him, but I am super excited to have the new special teams coach.
Praise
I'll
be.
say that
Praise be.
For
because-
sure, because
because no matter what our offensive and defense have been throughout the years, there have been some years where the defense is on fire. There have been years where the offense is on fire.
Yeah.
We've gone back and forth, back and forth, back
We've
and
never
forth.
been good in
Our
all three
special
our
phases.
special teams has been
Never.
our special teams has been
Our special teams has
hurting
sucked
for a while.
for a decade.
Yeah.
We've
Yeah, you're
had
right. You're
no
definitely
special
right.
teams at all. And my question to you two is, with this new addition of the special teams coach, who, by the way, if you guys don't know, came from the Rams, are they going to take the time to draft a good punt returner?
No.
I hope. I don't think
Because
so.
that's
No.
something that we've lacked
No,
for
they're
a
not.
decade.
And you know why
They're
not?
just going to continue to rely on Austin, and if he's even here.
Listen,
Yeah.
And
you know
Kinda
why.
like that.
Do you know why you don't waste a draft pick on somebody who's specialized in running back kicks? Because more than likely you're going to miss. Like, that is a skill set that anybody who's fast that you have on your special teams can run. It is very rare that you find elite punt return or kick return players.
Then
I can
riddle
count
me this, Hanny.
on one hand.
Then riddle me
The
this.
great ones in history of the game.
Riddle me this.
Riddle it. Give it out to me.
Why can't we do anything on special teams? We've got some great runners.
You're right.
We've had
we
great
do.
runners all through. Des Bryant was a fantastic runner.
You're right. We do.
Why, Hanny?
Because you know why? I'm gonna look at you when I say it.
Yeah, I want you to, because it's a for real question I'm asking.
You know why, honey?
Go look around the entire NFL. It's not something just the Cowboys struggle to do. It's something that all 32 teams struggle to do.
I'll be right back.
It is very rare that. Oh my God. It wasn't me this time, Jess. It wasn't me
it'll
this
be
time.
you soon.
I don't
You're right
know.
after.
I did chug one. Chug one before
You're
the show.
right. It's coming.
32 teams in the NFL. There has been a Cordell Patterson. Somebody come on the feed and tell me the other ones. He was with the Atlanta Falcons for a very long time. He was one of the best kick returner, punt returners that ever lived. Come on the feed and let me know his name.
Somebody's going to say it.
Escaping me right now. But those type of players come around once in a generation. If you look at the league and how often punt returns or kick returns are successful, every year you don't need more than this many hands. This many. No, get away. Because that would make people confused and make them think it's 3. This many hands is all you need to count how many punt returns or kick returns there were in one football season. And you don't waste a draft pick on something that is literally lightning in a bottle. If it happens, great. If it doesn't, great. But you know what I would be more concerned about? I'm spitting. Sorry, guys. You know what I would be more concerned about as far as special teams? The ability to stop it. Yeah, rub all that out. The ability to stop a kick return.
Yeah,
the ability
that was
going to
be my next question.
A punt return.
Yeah.
Now, if he can make it to where we are dominant in that facet, then I love you.
Yeah.
But I'm not determining my draft picks for a guy who can return kicks into the end zone, because it is literally the least important aspect of the game.
That's fair enough. How do we feel about the Cowboys retaining Kellen Moore after doing a
did they make that official?
I saw something that said they're retaining him right before we sat down.
What?
That actually irks me really bad.
Right
I
before
have a
we
Let
sat
me look
feeling.
at
down.
that to confirm.
Right before we sat down, I seen
yeah,
it.
you're right. You're right.
It.
He is staying with the Cowboys. But this is where I'm going to be very, very curious, because I don't know if this is a guy that Mike McCarthy is agreeing to kind of mold.
That's how I feel.
Because
Yeah.
Mike McCarthy
he's so
is going
young.
to
Yeah.
call the plays.
Yeah.
He is going to call the plays.
I want him
sure.
to.
I
Oh,
guarantee
yeah.
that was a stipulation of him being the head coach, is his ability to call the plays and run this offense. So I'm very curious. I mean, it's just because you didn't want to run out there and give somebody the title? I mean,
I think maybe
I'm
because
shocked
he'd only
by
had
that.
1
I'm
year.
shocked.
He'd only had 1 year with us, and
maybe I mean, again, this is
Cowboys
something that I
wanted
feel
to keep him.
that's been in the works. Maybe
I feel like he was part of the problem, though. I'm sorry, but
maybe
I said
Mike
it.
McCarthy feels like Garrett was a part of the problem when it came to Kellen Moore. Maybe he feels like
Absolutely.
he
100%.
really
Maybe,
does have a
maybe he'll
playbook.
be a completely different person.
And he may not be calling the plays, but I feel like the only logical explanation to keeping Kellen Moore is Mike McCarthy, his mindset going to, based off what he saw and based off what he feels like his offense can be combined with his offense, that it could be the
Dynamite,
missing piece.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well,
Yeah.
look,
I
it's-
get that. That
it's-
makes sense.
It's really
Total
typical.
sense.
It's really typical in all facets of all facets
Devin
of
Hunter,
business.
thank you, Kevin. That was the
I
punt
saw
kicker's
that.
name.
all,
Devin
all
Hunter.
facets of business, right? You go to a new job. There a lot of times there will be jobs where people will say no experience needed. You can come in and start. The reason why they say that is because they want someone that they can mold.
Exactly.
They can mold. They can implant their ideologies. They can implant the things that they believe to
Oh,
be
that's
true.
Amazon. They drill it in your head, man.
Ideologies. I don't know if I'm even saying that word correctly, but people like, when you're in a position of power where you're going to be calling the plays, you're going to be calling the shots. People like people that are moldable, right? And
I agree.
Kellen Moore is moldable. He's only been an OC 1 year. He's really young, and maybe Mike McCarthy, he
Totally,
likes that, and he's
totally.
like, hey, you know
I
what?
agree.
He might have been under this Jason Garrett offense, and it wasn't real great, but you know what? He's under me now. He's real young. He doesn't quite know the ropes yet. I'm going to show him the ropes. I'm going to show him the way I do things. That way I can mold him, and he can be my OC.
Yeah.
Not anyone else's OC. He's my OC that I molded and I taught.
I like it.
So I think that's why Kellen Moore is here. Otherwise, I think that he would have gotten the boot like everyone else.
I think
they,
he's
they
going to have.
cleaned house.
He's going to have
Yeah.
to. He,
I
They
agree.
cleaned house.
he's going to have to get that Linehan thinking out of his head first.
Yeah, the ghost of Linehan
Yeah.
passed.
Hey, I think Mike McCarthy is the perfect type of guy. You know, and this is one of the major differences, and this will perfectly segue us into culture. This is one of the major differences I feel that Mike McCarthy has with Jason Garrett. His ability to diagnose an issue and attack it. And what I mean when I say that is his ability to say, okay, this is the plan we've implemented. It's not working. So what do we do to change that? If you go back and look at that playoff game against our Dallas Cowboys, the Dez called it game.
Mm-hmm. The famous
If you
game.
look
Don't
at
get
that
me
game,
started.
they were excellent. If you look at it from the first half to the second half, because Dez was able to really dominate that first half. I mean, they were scheming him open, and in the second half, he was basically non-existent into that catch. I mean, and if you look at Mike McCarthy's career as a totality, it's not on the level of a Bill Belichick, but he's always been good at attacking, especially attacking a defense's weakness. And I feel like with the Kellen Moore and any other thing that he may be faced with within his organization, he can identify the weakness and shape and mold it and,
Right.
and adjust it
Yep.
to where it needs to be. And another thing that I feel like is going to be a major cultural difference between these between the Mike McCarthy Dallas Cowboys and the Jason Garrett Dallas Cowboys.
Accountability,
I
man.
don't
He's
know.
going
Is
to
it really?
demand it?
Accountability.
Yeah,
He's
that.
going
But do you
to
think there's
demand
really
it.
much of a cultural difference between the two?
Oh, major,
Really?
Sure.
major,
For sure.
major.
As far as the entire team of the Cowboys goes.
Yeah,
Like,
because
Oh,
Mike
major.
McCarthy isn't going to sit on the sidelines and
no,
go,
no,
no, I know
Mike
that.
McCarthy's
I
going
know.
to call you out on your, and this is one of the major reasons why him and Aaron Rodgers became fractured to a certain degree. Mike McCarthy's not going to bite his tongue for anybody.
He'll call you out on
He
your.
will call you out, and he won't feel two craps about how you feel about it.
Right.
Very Jimmy Johnson-esque.
Okay, well, I'm down then.
And and I'll say this.
That's all she had to say.
And this is me also going back to
I'm ready for some Super Bowls.
taking a year away from the game.
Yeah.
And it kind of forces you to really look at yourself at a totality, because I was watching an NFL Network, and they had a special on with Mike McCarthy, and where he was getting emotional just talking about his need, his want.
Yeah,
his,
he did that today.
His urge
Yeah.
to get back to the game, and just talking about all the different sacrifices that it takes. And
Yeah, he's very passionate.
and he got most emotional when he talked about the sacrifice that it really takes for your family. And him understand. How'd you hit that so simply? And him really understanding. Yeah, I didn't even see her hit the button. That's crazy.
it's what I do,
Just
man.
happened.
Magic fingers.
It's what I
magic
do.
fingers. But him really understanding everything that goes into being a head coach, not just for you as the head coach, but all the people that are directly connected to you, your wife, your kids, your family, and that's what I'm excited about. A guy that understands just how intense you have to be dedicated to this, to not just be successful, but to be successful year in and year out, to constantly be one of those teams that everybody is saying, well, we know we have to worry about the Cowboys. Because
Right.
when did you never have that thought in your mind when he was with the Eagles? I mean, with the Packers. Gosh, who's talking about me that's an Eagles fan? When did you ever have that doubt in your mind? Were you not scared every time the Packers were on our schedule?
Oh, for sure, yeah. It was always one of the toughest games.
Oh yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay, I'm going to go back to the interview process for just a second because I just had this thought and I remembered I wanted to talk about it. Do you think that the reason why there were not many coaches interviewed is because possibly people don't want to work for Jerry?
Wow, mic
because
drop.
they know that it's not going to be their team,
I
that
think
it's Jerry's team.
I think some might feel that way. I think it's either meh, some are like meh, and then some are like, oh hell yeah, Dallas Cowboys, yeah, definitely.
But
I want that on my resume.
Okay, but here's the thing. The guy that ended up taking the job and saying, oh, hell yeah, Dallas Cowboys, has been sitting on the couch for a year. So
By choice, though. He had 3 interviews last season.
Yeah,
That's true. That's true. But maybe after sitting on the couch for a while,
yeah. If
the
you watch,
Cowboys' job doesn't look so bad.
if you kind of watch the beginning of the press conference, he talks about how he had taken a year off, and then he started just gradually get the itch again.
Because I knew that Lincoln Riley was not coming here.
I think that
knew.
was
You said it from
horse
jump.
crap.
You
I
said it
think
from
that was
jump.
horse crap.
I said
think,
it from jump. I knew we weren't going to get a Lincoln Riley. I was hoping for Urban Meyer, but I knew that was a long shot too.
Yeah.
Urban Meyer was on the damn sideline for the Ohio State game. He looked like he wanted to go back to Ohio State and coach.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
And I knew Lincoln Riley wasn't happening. Urban Meyer was a long shot. And it just seemed like it was kind of grasping at straws there at the end. And I'm wondering how much of it has to do with they just didn't interview that many coaches, or there just weren't that many people that wanted the job.
Honestly, I'll start it off on this one. I do not think it was because not a lot of people wanted the job. And again, I'll go to the timeline. You don't take 7 days to fire Jason Garrett and only a day to hire your new head coach if you pretty much knew the direction that you were wanting to go.
On that note, apparently he's been here a week, Mike McCarthy.
Yeah.
Well, he just came back for this press conference,
Yeah.
but before he had played golf with him, he'd hung out with him.
They had a little sleepover.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a sleepover, like everybody's been saying.
You know what I
I
think it
think
had more to
Jason
do
Garrett
with?
knew that his job was over after that Bears game,
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
for sure.
You shake that
Definitely.
finger in my face one more time, I'm gonna bite it. I'm biting it.
Yeah,
Bite,
I think.
bite.
I think Jason Garrett knew
Do
his
it one
job
more
was
time.
over after that Bears game, for sure.
And I think that
It's probably all been a gradual thing.
it might be, but I think the biggest factor in all of this was I think Steven and Jerry Jones looked at this roster and they genuinely felt like this was a roster that could win right now. And I think a major component into them searching for a new head coach was who's a guy that we can bring in that won't be looking to overturn a lot of our roster and would be able to look at this roster and say, you know what, I could shape and mold this and we could win now. I feel like that was a big factor when you look at Mike McCarthy. He's a guy that's been to the playoffs consistently. I mean, hell, at one point Green Bay went 6-7 years in a row to the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So they're looking at a guy that's been there, that's done it, but not only done it, but that has done it consistently. Another thing that we've lacked here in Dallas over the decade.
So much.
Consistency.
And I think that was one of the most defining factors, because if you go out there and look at the head coaches that were available, there were none outside of Ron Rivera that had actually even ever been to a Super Bowl, let alone won one. And if you look at any other head coach who's won one, they're under contract. You look at most head coaches that's been to one, they're under contract.
Yep.
Sean Payton wasn't coming here despite what happened in New Orleans.
No, I knew
over
that
the
wasn't going to
weekend.
happen. I knew Bill Belichick wasn't going to
that's
happen.
So, I mean, it's pretty much.
I say
Yeah.
we welcome him with open arms up until the
Oh, for sure.
preseason. We see what the man can do. We see what.
Not even preseason.
But
I hate preseason.
No,
well,
yeah.
and that's one
Draft.
thing.
We'll
that-
see what he can do in the draft. He has a lot of knowledge in the draft. So
That's kind
You
of
look like a
one.
little chipmunk.
That's one point I kind of want to make is I've seen. I mean, like as a fan base, like I get it, guys.
yeah, it's a change.
We've been through so much crap in the last decade. I
Yeah, man, I'm
understand.
just happy for something
I
new.
understand being jaded, but man, like the minute it was announced, people were like, "Oh, I don't like this at all." I don't
Oh, I
really.
was one of those people.
I know. I saw it.
Let's try
I
to
saw it.
adapt.
I was one of those
Let's
people.
try to
Can
adapt.
we just be happy that we don't have to see the clapper on the
Hey,
sideline?
Joe from Italy says it best. Let's give Mike
Lights
McCarthy
on.
a chance
Lights
before
on.
we judge him. I am completely on board with
Yeah,
that.
man. Let's just be
Yeah,
happy
let's
for
see
a
what
second.
he can do.
Quick
Yeah.
comment from Top Fan Leslie. This is interesting. She says, I feel Kellen still has something to offer us. He wasn't free to do his job.
I agree.
Maybe it'll be different this season.
We'll
I agree
see.
with that, and that goes back to my point of him being really young, and I think that's why Mike McCarthy wanted to keep him because he sees potential in
Yeah.
Kellen Moore. He knows that he can take his young offensive mind and he can mold that.
Yes,
and he
yes.
can get rid of all those Linehan ideas, and he can implant new ideas to get him on the right track. And I think that honestly, I think that's the only reason he's still there.
Yeah.
So yes, I agree with you, Leslie, and I think that we're gonna see a different Kellen Moore this year. At least that's what I hope.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Now you kind of led us into it
Yeah.
by saying a complete turnover on
Yes,
the team.
yes.
We have so many free agents,
This
you
is
guys.
scary.
It's a lot.
31 free
Scary.
agents.
Wow.
You guys, 31.
Yeah.
The biggest names being, I know you guys can't see this at home, but I wanted to pull it up for the girls so we could all see it. Michael Bennett, Robert Quinn, Jason Garrett is on there. He's gone.
Free agent.
Amari Cooper, Randall Cobb. That's another thing I wanted to mention.
Randall Cobb staying.
Yeah, because Mike McCarthy's the
knows how
coach
to use
now.
him.
He knows
He
Cobb.
knows how to use him.
He knows Cobb through and
For
through.
sure.
So, previously I was actually watching our last episode the other day because I missed you guys.
I miss y'all
And
too.
and we had said that we thought Randall Cobb was gone for sure, and I completely changed my mind on
Oh, yeah.
that
Yeah.
with,
Oh, yeah.
with the new announcement.
There's
so
a relationship there.
If anything, McCarthy's gonna keep him around. I wouldn't be surprised if they sign him to another 1-year deal that's not fully guaranteed. McCarthy's at least gonna keep him around for training camp and for the preseason,
For
just
sure.
to see if he can
What he
still
can do, yeah.
exactly. So
Yeah.
I would be highly surprised if he's gone before final cuts.
I agree. Jason Witten, I'm sorry, but it's time to end the romance.
Yeah, I think
It's
with
time to
Garrett
end the
gone,
romance.
there's gonna be nothing really like drawn. I think more than anything, he saw
I know
a
he's your
young
husband.
quarterback in Dak Prescott that he believed in, an offense that had enough weapons, a defense that he thought would be even better than the year before, and a coach that he wanted to win for, And I think one of the major elements in that is gone, Jason Garrett, and it's so much uncertainty going forward as far as what you can expect. But Mike McCarthy's going to want a young, athletic tight end, and we have
Which
that
is
in
Jarwin.
We have
So
that. We have that in Blake Jarwin.
if anything, he's going to
Jake
coach
Blarwin.
up Jake. Wait, what? Now I'm confused. Blake Jarwin. I'm like, Jake.
So they
wait,
were
what?
saying that today on the radio. They were saying
Jake Blarwin.
Jake Blarwin. It was a joke.
No, I'm all about some Jarwin.
I will always love Witten, no matter what. He's a great tight end, great football player.
He's been fantastic. He's a Hall of Famer.
He's
Joe
fucking
from
one of the
Italy
best
says,
tight ends in
who
the
knows,
NFL.
We might get Dez back.
no,
that's not happening either.
Dez can get
The
on.
number
on.
one thing that we do not need to do is go backwards.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Let's
It took
move
us
forward.
7 days to go forward. Let's
Jason
not go
Witten.
backwards.
Jason Witten put in a wonderful 16 years with us. He broke records every year. He
I
was an
think-
excellent player.
Oh yeah,
It's time
He'll
for
be in
him
the
to
Ring of
hang it
Honor
up.
for
I
sure.
know that he wanted to come in and show everybody what he could still do, but it's
He
and
didn't
I
get
think
there.
he
done.
showed everybody that
It's
to
done.
a certain aspect, he still can go out there and play
it's a
football.
great football
just,
player.
just not at the level that we need
Yeah.
for
No,
what this
yeah.
offense is trying to do.
He's not fast enough. He's
Yeah.
just
He
he's
never was.
It wasn't that he wanted to
He's a-
win
he's a
Garrett a,
catch it and
Super
fall
Bowl.
guy.
He wanted to win the Joneses a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I agree.
Jason Witten is
So-
the Shaq of football.
Yeah.
playing about 2 or 3 seasons too
Really?
long.
You think he's the Shaq?
He reminds me of Shaq so much.
No, I mean,
Just
Shaq rolled the bench for Boston and Cleveland before
No,
he
no,
got
no.
up out of there.
I don't mean that. I just mean the way he catches the ball and just falls.
Yeah.
That's a Shaq move.
Yeah, or just
That's a Shaq
just
move.
catches it and goes.
And he just
Or he just goes
yeah.
one-handed
It's a Shaq move.
from the other side of the court.
Damn, this
but
list is long.
I love
Yeah,
Jason.
it's a scary
I love
list.
Jason Witten, but it's time to go. It's time to end
I
the
don't
romance.
think we keep.
I think that
Robert Quinn
I don't think that
or
he will
Michael
work
Bennett.
well.
Really? You don't? You
I
think
honestly
Quinn
don't.
is gone?
I think Quinn is gonna be looking
Quinn
for
was
a
one of
lot
my
more money.
favorite players
I
this
know,
year.
Yeah.
But if you look at him in the second half of the season, he really kind of like tampered off. Based off how
Everybody did though.
Kind
True,
of.
it could have been a regimen. You're absolutely right. That's a great point, actually. But if you look at, we have, and I don't mean to brag because there's nothing on our season to brag
Byron
about.
Jones has got to go.
We're
Yeah,
the
he can
we
get
have
on.
the 17th pick somehow in the first round, and I just feel like McCarthy
I heard we're going
would
for
rather
another
take a
wide
chance
receiver.
on somebody young. Hell, why? We got
I
7,
know.
8 on the roster
I
right
know.
now.
I don't know why.
I feel like he'd rather go with somebody young, especially with Mike Nolan as their new defensive coordinator. I feel like he'd rather have somebody that he can coach up, and that's one less guy that you have to invest a lot of money to, and you've already invested a lot of money in a pass rusher in DeMarcus Lawrence that got you 5 sacks this year. And I just don't see them taking another chance on somebody that's a veteran that's even older than DeMarcus Lawrence. I don't see them giving him the big payday. That
What
he's
about
looking
Sean
for.
Lee? He's been
no.
healthy. He's been healthy. He's
Nerp. I think Sean
You
Lee's
think
not
he's
going to
gone?
make this roster. Nerp.
I think if
Okay.
he's gone, he's done then.
To that point.
Oh,
Don't
yeah.
you think?
To that
Yeah.
point.
Definitely.
Okay, so what about Van Der Esch? Is he going to be healthy by next season? He has a major injury.
The
Major.
Cowboys know that situation better than anybody, and if they know that there's a chance that he may not play next year, they're going to use that 17th pick for a linebacker versus signing Sean Lee. And, I mean, we got a decent core. I mean, you look at Joe Thomas. He had some good plays this year. He didn't play horrible. I mean, he wasn't the best, but he wasn't the worst. You know what I mean?
I disagree. I think they could retain Sean Lee on a smaller contract because I don't think Sean Lee wants to go anywhere but the Cowboys.
No, I think
I think he's
time to let it
comfortable
go.
here. What about
I
Dak?
just like to be
I
like
worry
Keisha
about-
Cole and let it go.
I
Dak
worry
Or
Prescott,
Elsa.
our number one.
I worry. Here's
Dak ain't going nowhere.
going back real quick to Van Der Esch because we just drafted him. So
Yeah, this was his second season.
second season.
Yeah.
So you think they go for another linebacker? And I mean,
Listen, if you know he's not going to be available, if you know that there is a more than 50% chance he's not going to be available, why would you re-sign a guy in Sean Lee that just had one season, the first season in his, early 30s, that he wasn't injured? You're going to take the chance on that happening again versus drafting somebody young and somebody that you can develop? I mean, that
Yeah,
just
that's
doesn't
true.
make sense.
That's true.
Now, see, Jess, you're being like Jerry when it comes to Jason Garrett. You're being
No,
emotional.
no. I'm
Take
not
the emotion
emotional.
out
I'm
of
not
it.
emotional. I just think that they could. I don't know. Okay. All right. You're probably right. You're probably right. Let's see who else is on this list. Byron Jones can
They're
get
not
on.
re-signing him. If
He
anything,
can go on. All right.
he's going to take a very, very team-friendly deal.
Yeah. He can go ahead and go. He didn't
But
do
I
anything.
don't see them. He's
Jeff
still
Heath.
very good in coverage, though, man. Like, he's not good as far as turnovers and interceptions, but that boy can run a route with a wide receiver better than some wide receivers.
Better than a Woozier.
I think so.
I think so
do
too.
think so.
I think so too. I wasn't impressed with the
Yeah,
Woozier this year.
You definitely don't have to re-sign his ass, that's for sure.
Jeff Heath.
I think he stays.
All right.
He's younger.
I agree with that.
He's an impact player. He's a guy, if you use him as a rotational piece, he will go out there and make a play or two for you in a game.
I agree with that. Tavon Austin. Yeah, this is a tough one because he's had
one.
injuries.
How old is he? Is he 27, 28, 29?
He can't be that old. Let's do a separate search right over here.
That's not their ages? Is that their numbers?
Oh, wait. No.
Next to the
You're
position?
right. Where is he? He's 29.
29. Oh, yeah, they're not going to keep him.
All right.
Because it's going to come down between Randall Cobb and Tavon Austin as far as a wide receiver position.
And it'll be Cobb.
Exactly.
For sure.
Favoritism.
Yeah, for sure.
Borderline nepotism.
Yep. Kai Forbath, our kick-ass kicker.
Hell, I mean, it ain't like it's no great ones coming out of the college.
He was the only one that scored against the Eagles.
He was the only one that was consistent
Yeah.
in December.
Yep.
Keep that kicker.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure. Malik Collins walks. Suafilo.
Yeah, somebody's going to offer him a lot of money.
Suafilo just had a major surgery. I think he's gone.
Yeah.
Dak Prescott.
If anything, they're going to
I
franchise tag him.
I think they'd be stupid to let him go. I think they'd be stupid to let him go.
Astronomically insane.
I think that might
In the beginning of the season, he was in the top 5. In the end of the season, he was in the top 11.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm going to say
That's
it again.
still good.
I'm going to say it
So-
again. I said it last podcast, and I'll say it again. If not Dak, then who?
Yeah,
Praise be.
exactly.
There,
I mean,
you have
Cooper
no
Rush,
other
you can
option.
definitely get rid of his
Yeah,
ass.
you don't have any other option there.
I'd be real pissed if they did.
Dak Prescott
Cooper
is the
Rush.
quarterback for the Dallas
Yeah,
Cowboys.
for sure.
I think that Mike McCarthy is stoked to have.
Yeah, I can't
Dak
wait
Prescott.
to see what happens there.
Agreed.
So, and
Agreed.
I'm really excited to see that. All right,
All right, I'm hungry.
we're gonna skip over the. Okay, here's a big one, and here's
Oh,
one that
yeah.
I want to talk about. Blake freaking Jarwin.
Yeah, we cannot let
They're
him
sorry.
go.
We can't let him
We
walk.
can't let him
They're-
go.
Based on the slight
I
flashes
swear to
that
God,
they saw,
I'm
they're
gonna say
not
this
getting
real
rid of him.
quick. I'm gonna say this real quick. I swear to God, if we keep Jason Witten and we let Jarwin
No.
walk, I'm done.
No,
I'm not watching
they're
another
not-
freaking game.
No, he's
You
not.
know how
That's
they
not going to
say
happen. That's
age-
not happening.
You know how to say age ain't nothing but a number?
Yeah.
Age ain't
In
nothing
the
but a number.
NFL, it is more than a
Oh,
number.
for sure, for sure. They're not going to do that.
They're not going to
That's
get
not
rid
happening.
of a 26-year-old tight
No.
end that's shown what he can do. And by the way, even with Jason Garrett taking basically a veteran's minimum, he's still cheaper
Jason Witten.
than Jason Witten. Yeah, what did I say?
You said Jason Garrett. It's okay, Hanny. They're almost one and the same.
Yeah.
Stuck in my head.
Yeah, but the reason I say that is because we do have Jura, and he's so attached to these players, and Jason Witten is one of those players. There is a Jason Witten romance
Then make
on
him the
this
tight
team.
ends coach.
That's what I've said from day one, Hanny.
Make him the tight
what
ends
I've
head
said.
coach because we don't need him to be on the roster catching passes.
I agree. I want me some Blake
Earl
Jarwin.
Williams agrees with you. He said he would retain Sean Lee on a cheap deal.
I see. That's what I say.
Yeah.
Thank you, Earl.
Earl also says Tavon hasn't done anything in 2 to 3 years. He's been here, so yeah, exactly. Tavon gots to go.
Thank you, Earl. I agree. And like I said, I mean, if they go for a linebacker in the draft, that's cool.
Girl,
But
somebody said bring in Brady and let Dak go.
well, that person needs to get on because
Whoever that person is,
There's 20
unfollow JoJo's replay and she wants to do right now.
There's a 14-year difference in the two.
Well,
That's just
and if that's how you truly feel, then you didn't watch the Patriots play this
yeah,
year.
because that guy's
Because
washed.
guess what?
He is looking
He
every
is
bit
washed
of an
up.
aging quarterback.
Washed up.
He was basic.
Washed up.
He's
washed
basic.
up.
he's looking every bit of
Bye-bye.
an aging quarterback.
Bye-bye.
So yeah,
Bye.
that's done.
Bye-bye,
Jarwin is a
Brady.
restricted free agent, so anything any other team offers him, we can match it.
And Mike McCarthy wants a young quarterback. He's an offensive guy. He wants that. He wants to be able to mold, which goes back to my point of Kellen
my
Moore.
God.
He wants to be able. What is going on over here?
Geifert, the linebacker that I told y'all that I loved in the preseason, the one that made that great play that when we played San Francisco and we were watching at FOE. FOE.
Yeah.
Foe.
He came back towards the end of the season, and he was healthy. Like that. That's our Leighton Vander Esch replacement. I'm sure he's not as great as Leighton Vander Esch, but that guy made some really, really good plays in the preseason. I'm very excited to see what he does if our LVE isn't ready to go in the regular season.
Well, and okay,
And he's
and
under
I want
contract
to
for
say
super
this:
cheap.
that's the only reason why I say let's retain Sean Lee on a cheap contract, like my man Earl said.
Earl.
He agrees with
Earl
me.
said it.
I think that we can retain him for quite cheap. He, like you said, he's 34 years old. We see right here. He don't want to go anywhere, man. He's been injured.
Look, just because you
consistently.
don't want to go nowhere, Jess, don't mean it ain't time for you to go.
All right.
I didn't want to come to Dallas through traffic, but I needed to be here tonight.
I'm just
So I
saying.
did it.
I'm just saying.
I'm ready for some enchiladas. That's
Leighton
what I'm
Vander
saying.
Esch-
Ooh, that sounds good.
Leighton
Who's making
Vander Esch might
enchiladas?
not be ready.
Y'all going to the bar?
She's going to El Vecino's.
El Vecino's.
All I'm saying
Shameless
is,
plug.
if Leighton Vander Esch is not ready and we're in a tight spot, it might be nice to have little Sean Lee out there doing his thing.
Agreed. Because it was
We'll
either
see.
Vander Esch or Sean Lee doing the work.
That's right.
Or Jalen Smith.
That's right. All right, guys. We have had a fantastic time with you tonight. It felt good to be back in the studio. We're gonna do this every couple weeks when there's some news. Look out for JoJo's replay. We're gonna be doing that.
Mondays.
That
work for you?
Monday's good.
Yeah.
I can do Monday.
JoJo's replay. That's the new day for the show.
Tracy is gonna get out your gifts. I have slacked really bad, so Tracy's gonna take over and she's gonna slide into your DMs. If your name was called for one of the free gifts, look for her. Check your creepy folder. That's where she's gonna go, and she'll get your gifts out to you.
She wants to be in the place to be. Like, share, follow if you like the show. You already know how it goes. JoJo, Tracy, just in the place to be. I hope you like the show, cause you know that we like it too. We are the She Wants to Be crew. I hope you're back next week, cause we got some things we want to speak. JoJo's replay, it's on Monday. She Wants to be, we don't know yet today, but we're coming live at you. It's the She Wants to Be crew. What it do? Like, share, follow. You know what to do. No tomorrow. You gotta take the life by the hands. McCarthy is the new man in Dallas. I'm so excited. What's he gonna bring to the party? I
No
don't
more
want him to
clapper.
be
No more
tardy.
clapper.
Just
No
make
more
sure it's
clapper.
on
No more
party.
clapper.
Yeah, don't clap no more. Goddamn, I'm so sick of seeing it. Yeah, no more clapping on the sidelines. Hey, that is going to make JoJo's day. We got a new coach and I'm happy. I don't know more than the clappy. Now I'm going to find out new things about Mike McCarthy and I can't wait. That's enough.
Woo! Look for JoJo's replay Mondays.
Monday, baby.
We will do She Wants the D shows as news progresses about the Cowboys when we got things to talk about like we did today. We went pretty long today, guys.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
it was
we
eventful.
had a lot to say. Thank you guys for hanging with us. We love you guys. We will see you soon. Go Cowboys.
Bye.